All right, Ramsey Paul called it. From everything that we're seeing, from what I'm seeing from Intel Slava Z, Ramsey Paul called it. Russia will be able to. There's apparently something called Victory Day. I guess it's right now. It would be what we would think of as the 9th. Right now it's the 8th. It's just a few more hours, or a couple hours until midnight, or midnight, hour to midnight. So Ramsey Paul called it. He said that Russia will have this sewn up, or they'll have enough of it sewn up that they'll be able to have a kind of a Victory Day parade, fundamentally. That he'll be able to brag about the liberation of eastern Ukraine, and that's probably what's going to happen. Biden and all these politicians going to Ukraine to take photo ops to try to make themselves look good is now we are going to look back at that moment, and it's going to be one of the saddest moments in American foreign policy history. Like, just how just laughable that moment is. You know, and people will say, while America was crippled by a opioid epidemic, absolutely crippled, its youth were having their genitals lopped off, and everybody, half the drugged out population that was literally dying by unbelievably high numbers. Like, just people literally just dying all over the place. Violence everywhere, and communists were actively making people try to assault members of the government. The government won't protect the actual officers of jurisprudence, or officers of the state, or anything. And then Putin's going to be sitting there going, and we fucking won. And he did. He's winning. He's going to win. And a whole lot of people are going to have to accept how fucking lame they look, how queered out, how fucking punked out they looked. There's a lot of people are looking like they got completely and totally punked out. And that, yeah, Putin won. Russia won. NATO lost. Applesauce. And the worst part about it is what's going to come from here, because from here comes the horrible issue that is now going to be a real problem for the right. The right's going to have to insist on accepting the responsibility. Like, all of the stuff that's going to come out, the right's going to have to sit there and say, it was our nation that did it. We're going to have to accept the responsibility as a nation for what our nation did. Because don't worry, just what is absolutely reported on and proven that we were doing in Ukraine is against all kinds of international law. All sorts of international, like right now, what little we can get out of Ukraine about what we did, what little we know now, holy shit, this is going to be bad. This is going to be so bad when it all comes out. And we're going to have to accept it. That's the important part. The right's going to have to be the only grown-ups in the room. They're going to have to be like, yeah, we deserve to get shunned by the world for this. Because that's what's going to happen. The world is going to be like, that's why you went into Ukraine? That's what this was about? Like, people don't know. But the women don't know. Because women don't care. Because women care about some really pretty stupid shit in general. Stupid shit. Oh my God, Johnny Depp. See, yeah, I've really had to, like, sit back and really think, like, God damn it. I mean, oh my God. I just think about, it must be wonderful for a lot of men that when they come home, the world vanishes, the world goes away. I mean, I really do. Really have to sit there and say, that's wonderful. You know, you get in there, and it's just you and your woman, and the world kind of fades away a little. But holy shit, if there isn't almost any group, Western women, the most divorced from reality, absolutely just delusional. Just fucking delusional. You know, just, I mean, and that's, there is no, there's a part of me that's sitting back going, Lord, did you take Kevin from us because it's going to be so bad? It's going to be so fucked up that you're just like, nah, Kevin, sorry. I know you got a lot of work, you know, but you done did a lot. It's time to come home. I'm really, Kevin Samuels' death is really kind of playing with my mind in a strange way. I think it's just because I'm thinking of my death, because I just connected with him because of our generational similarities and dance game. Yep, dance game. It wasn't the best kind of game, but it worked. It worked. Don't worry. It worked. Oh. But yeah, I'm now at this stage. I'm just like, wow, Ramsey Paul called it. He called it. He was the person who said, this is what I think is going to happen. He mapped it all out. It was about 2 weeks ago now, and it's looking like he's absolutely correct, because he knows enough about Russians in Eastern Europe to understand this is what the Russians would want. This is what Putin would want. This is the optics that he would want. And one of the hardest parts is going to be how there's so many people that they're just, oh, the fucking Russians are so dumb, they're getting their fucking asses handed to them and all this stuff. And when they suddenly retreat to the east and hold the east completely and like rock solid, and that there's nothing, and there'll be nothing anyone could do at that stage. Once that happens, all it's going to be is Russia will just be able to start, this is what we have, this is what we got on you, and heaven forbid that Russia gets like way serious about making this hurt, about like mapping this out for like a long time, really being like, no, you're going to sit down and all listen, or Germany, you'll fucking freeze. Poland, you'll fucking freeze. All of you motherfuckers are going to freeze solid until you shut the fuck up and listen to what we found in Ukraine. We're going to fucking embarrass you. Because that works. And don't worry, Russians understand that one. Humiliation works. They know. They know us better than we know them in every possible way. They understand us. We've gone out of our way not to understand them. That's why I think so many people, and really there's somebody on the right, this one particular person who I've been sitting back going, I just don't think you like Russians. Like just this one person in particular, that their take on the whole thing. I've just been sitting there going, like, what? Where the fuck are you coming from with this? And then there's this part of me that I'm just like, I kind of just think that you just really don't like them, and honestly, I'm getting more and more. I'm just kind of like, no, this is something about the post-Enlightenment, kind of degenerate American Westerners, there's just something about, they like birth control and they hate Russians. I don't, or it's just, really, this right winger was talking. Yeah, I'm not even going to go there. Praising birth control, like, oh, people don't understand how it was, how bad things were. No, Thomas Sowell mapped this out. It was all crap. There wasn't some epidemic of out of wed birth locks, out out of wedlock births in like the late 50s. That's crap. That's total fucking bullshit. And it was, and so there's just this part of me now that I'm just like, you know, oh, the women, they all had to fly to Paris and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, yeah, sure. Yeah, that was, yeah, right. I'm not buying it anymore. Oh, I'm sorry. Is a boomer insisting on something? Well, you're going to have to write a book on it and have lots of receipts. Because nobody can believe fucking boomers anymore at all. I mean, we can't trust them. We can't believe them. It's just, yeah. A little frustrated. Just, there's a little bit of my frustration, but it's also, there's this part of me. Earlier I was looking at Intel Slava. There's a lot of dead bodies. And that just... Yeah, it's just the dead bodies. Just these guys getting chewed up by machine guns and everything, and what's left of them. And I'm just like, oh my God. And then people tripping off of nothing at work on an easy day, on a day that everything's going fine. And it's like, why are you tripping? It's called work. It's work. God damn it. No, God damn it, Generation Z. Like Zoomers, it's called work. You're going to have to get used to it. It sucks, like, and it's just slowly I'm starting to figure this out. I'm like, yep, they're not going to be able to handle it. Tough times are coming, and there's hella people who won't be able to handle it. I'm like really starting to, it's really starting to creep into my mind. This part of me that I'm just like, God, I just got this feeling like it's that there's something we're not even. It's just, I'm just not seeing it yet. I'm not seeing it yet, but it's going to be bad, and it's really going to be like that thing that it's like no, and then people just started doing this because they just couldn't hack it. They just couldn't deal with the sheer hardness of it all. They just couldn't handle the sadness, this feeling of being overwhelmed. Yeah. And I'm worried about this. I'm worried about it. I'm really sitting there like, Yeah. All right. I'm going to get going. I really want to thank you all for keeping this channel interesting. The comments, the information you offer me. A lot of times you guys say stuff that I'm like, yeah, dude, thank you very much. That really did help my mind and my heart and my spirit. And yeah, okay, just no good news, just nothing good. Everything's just like but that's yeah. This too shall pass. Just like Wes Watson said, this too shall pass. It's just lockdown. The hacks are just locking us down. The hacks are fucking with us. That's what it is. The hacks are fucking with us in the gulag.